Welcome. You're watching The Moody Lawyer. Justice served with experience and integrity.
Hello and welcome back to The Moody Lawyer with attorney Josh Moody. With a background in law enforcement and a comprehensive legal career spanning criminal justice, personal injury, and civil matters, Josh offers his unique perspective on navigating California's legal system. I'm Evan Mack, and today we're talking about small claims court. Josh will explain when it makes sense, what cases actually belong there, and how you can prepare to give yourself the best chance of success. This is small claims court in California, what makes sense, and how to prepare. Josh, sir, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. What kind of cases does small claims court in California usually cover?
Well, small claims can cover just about anything, from contracts to, that's probably a big one, to debt collection, and then obviously, yes, in personal injury. Now let's just start off at the very basics that a lot of people don't understand. In small claims court, there are no attorneys. So I cannot go and represent you in small claims. You have to go and represent yourself, as does the other party. So,
oh, wow.
Legal disclaimer, everything I tell people about small claims is what I read about and studied, but I don't have much experience in small claims because I'm not allowed to go there unless I go there individually.
So what, could you even like just hang out there and just kind of like audit? Are you allowed to do that?
I'm sure you could just go. Yeah, I could just go in and hang out in the court. But if you've ever been to small claims court, it's here in the desert. It's like traffic court. It's like, I think it's the same commissioner and the same judge who hears traffic cases. It's a lot of people, so there's a high volume number of cases. So there's a lot of people there with a lot of grievances. Wow. Now in California, I believe they increased the amount in contract cases to like $12,500. That's the most you can recover. But in personal injury, the most you can recover in small claims court is $7,500. Why there's I don't know why. I don't know why there's a cap so much lower. But so those are the limits you can get in small claims in California.
How does that kind of differ compared to, regular civil court?
So, well, obviously the big difference is the value of the case and $7,500. I mean, and $7,500, it's not a lot. That is your basic, maybe got rear-ended very lightly and, maybe didn't go to the hospital, but sought some treatment and your bills are relatively low. Because, ambulance ride to the hospital, it can cost more. And I have several cases like that can cost more than $7,500.
Yep.
Your standard ride to the hospital and ambulance is hovering around $2,500 to $3,000. That's just for your base. That's assuming you're going to the closest hospital there and it's within, a stone's throw. You start talking helicopter and transferring out, so $7,500 is really low. Regular civil cases in California, we have what's called limited jurisdiction, and we have unlimited jurisdiction. Limited jurisdiction is cases that are less than $25,000. Some case, and $25,000 can be a good chunk of change if depending on the injuries and the time, and again the bills. And then we have unlimited civil jurisdiction, and those are your unlimited. Unlimited means we're seeking 7, 8, figures, not, as much as you want. So those are the limits in California and the different courts to go to.
So, Josh, when does it make sense for someone to take a case to small claims court as opposed to just doing a full-blown lawsuit?
In the example I gave, when your bills are low and when your injuries are low, right? Definitely small claims could be the way to go. And I always tell people to, and you don't know people, because people always ask, that's the number one question. We've talked about this before. What's my case worth? Well, I don't know the value of your case the day you walk in. We don't know. We won't know for weeks or months until we get all of your bills and we get all of your injuries, we get all your medical reports. So when that does happen and we get your bills and we get your medical reports and, your bills are so low, just very low, and your injuries, depending on your age, and your injuries aren't all there, especially in your medical reports, I'll tell people, okay, here are your options. We can file this case typically in a limited jurisdiction. This is what it's going to cost. You can go to small claims court, and this is, if you get the maximum, this is what you would get. And then at that point, it's up to the client on which direction they want to go. I'm all about, telling any client all the information that's available to them, even if that means, it's going to cost me money or take us, one less case, because if you take your case to small claims, I don't get anything. And that's fine if that's what's best for you.
Oh, go ahead. Go. Didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no. So I was just saying, so I don't know until we get those records and I give you the options. And some people choose, they'll stick with us, and some people choose small claim. So it's different people choose different things on what they're looking for, and that's fine.
What about the flip side of that, though? When is a small claims court not the right choice, even if that dollar amount seems to fit?
Oh, obviously when the bills are anywhere close to $7,500, or the case is worth more than $7,500. If it's even close, it's not. Small claims isn't worth it. But sometimes I'll just give like an average case is, maybe somebody gets a very low impact crash and they have Medi-Cal or something, and their bills are a couple $100. That might be a case that your small claims may be a route you want to go, because if you go and you win, which you should win, because if you get rear-ended, you're not at fault. But if you win, you don't have to pay me anything. You don't have to, we're not taking any percentage, and we have all your bills ready for you. So you can just go to court and the judge lets you talk. So you can tell the judge directly what your injuries are. And you can go from any, and you don't have to pay us anything. So again, that's something that you take to the client and say, look, this is, we can file this for you in a limited jurisdiction, or you can take this to small claims, and these are the numbers. So, and of course, again, the number one disclaimer is every case is different. Every case has different bills. Every case has different injuries. So that's why you have to take it on a case-by-case basis.
So Josh, what are the steps someone needs to take to actually file a small claims case in the state of California?
It's actually pretty simple. Now you can do it all online. You go online, you fill out the information. Wow. You pay the fee, which is, I think and the fees are a lot less too. I think the fees for small claims court is somewhere around $300. And then you just have to serve. You can either pay someone to serve the other party, or have the courts do it. And then they just give you a court date, which is usually several months in advance. And like I said, you bring your bills, you tell the judge what happened, they tell the judge what happened, and they make a decision.
So would you say, as far as preparation goes, when they're preparing for their court dates, what documents, maybe evidence or witnesses, will they make a difference? So they always have that on, like, handy at all times?
Oh, sure. We give our clients the whole file here. We did all the work for you. Now it's up to you. If that's the route you want to go, here you go. For sure. Yeah. We give, it's your file. It's your case. We don't withhold anything, and we give everything to the clients, and you'll have it all, and you'll know it all in your head. And that is a way to go. It's like I said, it's not. It's definitely a very small minority of our cases go that way. And then the reason is because, like I said, bills are typically expensive today. If you go to the hospital or you get injured, even in a pretty decent rear end crash, I'm not talking like a major rear end. I'm just saying you can have some significant bills, some significant medical bills. So it's not something that's all that common, but it does happen, especially with people who are maybe Medicare eligible, and they get such a huge discount at the hospital. But that is one option, and it can maximize your recovery. It maximizes the amount in your pocket, because it takes money out of our pocket. But if it's the right thing to do, then it's the right thing to do.
So what can someone do ahead of the time, for the right preparation and guidance to make sure they're ready for that small claims court as far as what would you suggest?
Just to know your bills, know your case, and that's usually why it's easier, because you get to go in and tell the judge exactly what you've been telling everybody for the last 6 months, year and a half. You can go in and say, look, I was sitting at the red light and I was minding my own business. I was going to take my kids to school, or they probably, with your own case, you probably have less preparation than I do, because I have to reread everything, kind of refresh my memory, make sure I
Right.
know everything in the file, as opposed to you, who know, this is the only crash you've ever been in, most likely. Um, so, and obviously follow the same rules, get there early, be prepared, tell the judge, be polite to the judge and tell them your side of the story. And,
Mhm.
I always tell, just out, it's always ask for the maximum. Why would you ask for anything less?
Absolutely. What common mistakes though do you see people make when it comes to this? That can hurt their chances of winning.
I see, and that's the thing, because I don't handle cases of small claims.
Right.
I don't really see a whole lot of mistakes. I don't see other, because I'm not there. Um, but the process is so simple. It's made to be simple. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to worry about knowing what speculation is or what hearsay. You just kind of go in and tell the judge. So I would say, from my perspective, I don't see a whole lot of mistakes made on our clients' parts. Um, I would say probably the number one mistake is probably on the insurance companies, by not just paying out a fair amount of money and avoiding the whole situation to begin with. So that's probably the biggest mistake is made by the other side. Because the other thing is most of the time in the cases that I've seen, the defense or the insurance, because remember, the other party can't have an attorney either.
Hmm.
So most of the time they will just stipulate, hey, we're admitting fault. We just admit, because what are they going to do? They're going to walk in and say, yeah, I was driving too fast. I was playing my radio. I was texting. What are they going to say? They have no defense for the most part. So it's mostly what they do is they'll just argue about damages and what it's
Mhm.
worth. And I mean, they really have no defense. So you typically have a defendant that you don't really feel sorry for, because they caused this accident.
Hmm. So Josh, what's your best advice for someone listening who's thinking about filing that small claims like right about now? What would you say to them?
Well, if you're not represented by somebody and you're thinking about going to small claims, that's kind of the thing, that's part of the process too, is if you come in at the beginning of the accident, we can get your bills and get you the treatment you need. Um, before you find out, before you consider small claims court, because you don't know. You may want to take your case and have an attorney check it out, because small claims may not be the best way to go, but it might be. I mean, you don't know. Uh, Typically, you'd want an attorney at the beginning of the case, because then if the attorney can give you advice, because we've had the case for a year and a half, or 9 months, year, however long, and can give you run the numbers and tell you your options. And again, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know which way the court's case is going to go, but these are the possibilities. If you have a case right now that you're thinking about going to small claims, you may just want to consider consulting with someone to see if that is the best route. Because you don't know. I mean, and every case is different, and in a lot of cases, there's no right answer or wrong answer. It's just, this is the best decision we can go with.
Mhm. Josh, thanks for the information and the time, brother.
Well, thank you.
And thank you all for listening to today's episode of The Moody Lawyer. If you're dealing with a legal issue and you aren't sure if small claims court is the right path, Josh and his team can help you understand your options. Visit moodylawyer.com to schedule a free case evaluation. And if you found this episode helpful, like, share, subscribe with someone that might find it helpful as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.